When it comes to the sacred art of shredding, scales are usually considered the secret sauce to our entry point. But running up and down the same scales over and over again in a strict, linear fashion can sound more like a dull, boring practice routine, and it's not very musical. So if you can play scales up and down with solid speed and technique, then I'm going to show you a really cool lick that could add a lot of spice to your leads and solos. If you're looking to set yourself up and make critical changes in a matter of mere minutes to your practice routine, then my gift to you is the free motivational guide below in the description, or you can head on over to zachcharguitar.com and download it there. Let's jump in. Okay, so for this lick, we're going to be using the F form of the major scale. But we're going to be playing it in the key of A major, okay? But while this is in the key of A major, I'd like to say this has more of a Dorian kind of sound to it because we'll be landing on that second scale degree and really accenting it there. So here's what that scale looks like, okay? So the full scale would be 5th fret of the 6th string. So that's A. And then we'll go one step up on the same string, but the 7th fret. That's a B. Then with your pinky, you're going to play the 9th fret of the same string. We're going to jump down to the A string, and it's going to be the same exact thing, just on the A string. So 5th string, 5th fret. 7th fret of the same string, 9th fret of the 5th string. So far we have to continue. We're gonna jump down to the D string, but we're gonna put our index finger on the 6th fret of that string. And with our middle finger, we'll be playing the 7th fret of that string. So it's the full octave, okay? But we're going to take it a few more notes past that octave. So we're going to, with our pinky, play the 9th fret of the D string. And it's the same thing on the next string. So we'll have our index finger on the 6th fret of the G string. Middle finger, 7th fret, pinky on the 9th fret. We're almost there, okay? So we're going to shift now with our index finger on the 7th fret of the B string. With our ring finger, we'll be on the 9th fret of the B string. And our pinky will be on the 10th fret of the B string. We're at 2 octaves now, okay? And if you really want to go all the way down, we could just take that same shape that you played on the B string and play it on the E string. So it's index finger, 7th fret of the E string, the high E string. Ring finger on the 9th fret of the E string. And then pinky on the 10th fret of the E string. All together, you'll have this. So now when I show you the lick, we're going to use what's called disjunct motion and spice it up a little bit, okay? When we just went up and down straight through that scale before, note for note, without skipping anything, that was called conjunct motion, okay? Which has its place time to time, but usually when you're writing a soaring melody, you want to kind of add some spice into it, okay? And that's where that disjunct motion comes in, and we'll show you that with this lick. What you're going to do, you're going to start at that same starting point, okay? So fifth 5th fret of the 6th string. And you're going to hammer on with your middle finger on that 7th fret, and then you're going to hammer on again with your pinky on that 9th fret of the same string. Okay, so you'll have this. All right, then you're going to down pick the same sequence starting on the 5th fret of the 5th string, but you're only going to down pick that first note, just like you did on the same sequence on the 6th string, okay? So it'll look like this. And then you'll do it one more time to continue that scale shape. You'll down pick the 6th fret D string with your index finger. And then you'll hammer on with your middle finger on the 7th fret. And then you'll hammer on with your pinky on the 9th fret. So far, it looks just like you would play through a scale up and down. But I'll show you where the disjunct motion happens in just a second. So to review, here's what you'll have. Now we're going to make a leap. Okay, you're going to jump back up to the 5th fret of the 5th string. Okay, and you'll hammer on those same notes. All right, so we'll take it a step back from the beginning. And then you're just going to go through the rest of the scale and you'll play it for the next 2 strings, okay? And I'll show you what that looks like. So you go back down, do that same shape you played on the D string, index finger on the 6th fret of the D string. Then you'll hammer on to the 7th fret of the D string. And then you'll hammer on to the 9th fret of the D string. Carry that same shape down to the G string. Okay, so when you put it all together, this is what it looks like. And to give it that Dorian flair I mentioned before, you're going to want to slide with your slide with your middle finger that you had on the D string. And you're going to want to slide it to the 9th fret of the D string. Okay, so in full, here's what it looks like from start to finish. What I would recommend, too, if you want to give yourself some extra credit, is to play this over a B minor 7 chord to really, again, bring out that Dorian flair. Okay, and if you want to take it another step further, I'll show you what that looks like in reverse. Same pattern. So we're going to start at the bottom. We'll have our pinky in place on the 9th fret of the G string, and we'll down pick that note, but we'll pull off the rest of the notes, okay? And when I say pull off, you're going to want to flick your finger down off that string to bring out the note that's behind it, okay? In this case, we want to flick our pinky down to bring out the note on the 7th fret of the G string. And we're going to want to do the same. We're going to pull off to the 6th fret of the G string. So here's what that sounds like. We're going to go the same way back up, okay? So we'll do that same thing, but a string higher. So pinky on the 9th fret of the D string and pull off the rest of those notes. and we'll jump up to the A string. This time you're going to pull off with your pinky from the 9th fret of the A string. You're going to down pick that and pull off to the 7th fret of the A string. From there you're going to want to pull off with your middle finger to the 5th fret of the 5th string. So from there we'll play what we have so far. And then we'll just go 1 string down. Then we'll go to 9th fret of the D string, pull off again those 3 notes, and then go back to where we were on the A string. Remember to make that adjustment because it's a different shape pattern on that string. And then keep that same shape and do the same thing, pull off again on the starting on the 9th fret of the 6th string. So in total, you'll have this. And again, we want to land on that B note, okay, to bring out the Dorian I'm talking about here. So you're just going to slide with your index finger, which is on the 5th fret of the 6th string, and you're going to want to slide it over to the 7th fret. Give it a little vibrato. Okay, so here's what that sounds like. So practice this slowly at first and gradually increase your speed over time. Ideally, you'll be using a metronome as you do this. It's not uncommon to hit roadblocks along the way. Lots of people find it difficult to stay motivated when they're working towards their musical goals. So head on over to zachcharguitar.com or click the link below to download that free motivational guide. It's scientifically driven, and in just minutes, you'll have everything you need to stay consistent, which is key when learning a new skill. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.